Hello and welcome to Explain 11 and this episode on emergency procedures for the Beech B58 Baron. I'm Andy, and I'm not, first a disclaimer, I'm not a pilot. This is not an well, I guess it's an instructional video, but it's not for real life aviation. It's just for flight simulators. In the description you can find links to the airplane flight manual or pilot operating handbook for the G58 version, which has the G1000. This is another version, but this sort of works. It's the same model, it just has different avionics. I discovered some other small slight differences, but mostly it's pretty much the same. You also find a link to a checklist, which is the Simcoder version. It's for Explain 10 and the Simcoder add-on realistic expansion pack for the Coronado's Beech Baron, but it works pretty okay for this too. You can also find links to this scenery and the scenery I did in the last episode. This is the third episode on this this procedures section, this procedure series on the Beech Baron. And on the other ones I've been to a small airport in Germany. Now we switch to a Germany in the States. So this is Kilo Charlie Uniform Bravo, I think it is. So I want to see. Just gonna check so I actually have the link in the description, which I do think I have. Exactly. So it's in Colombia. It's the Jim Hamilton Owens Airport. This, I think, this is beautiful, but it works much smoother than the other one. The other one was so, how would I say, well, it sort of, well, the frames were bad. Basically, that was the problem. So I switched to this. This is a brilliant scenery. And the link to that is in the description. So anyway, today we're going to look at emergency procedures. So firstly, it will be a bit of reading going on, and then we'll do a short flight and landing with a one engine landing, probably, unless I change my mind. So first thing is the emergency airspeeds. This is a full loaded airplane with 5,500 pounds. One engine in operative best angle of climb is 95 knots. One engine in operative best rate of climb is 101 knots compared to the 105, which is with two engines. And it's 92 best angle with two engines, so slightly higher on the best angle and slightly less on the rate of climb. Air minimum control speed is 84 knots. One engine in operative en route climb is 101 knots, same as best rate of climb. Emergency descent is 152 knots. Remember, gears and flaps are first 15 degrees of flaps are limited at 152 knots. One engine in operative landing, 5,400 pounds. Maneuver to final, to final approach on the 7 knots. Final approach, flaps down 30 degrees, 95 knots, same as with one engine. With both engines are. Intentional one engine operative speed is 88 knots. Maximum range glide speed is 115 knots. That's good to know. So airspeed is the single most important factor in maintaining airplane control during single engine operation. The airplane can be safely maneuvered and trimmed for normal hands-off operation and sustained in this operation by operative engine as long as sufficient airspeed is maintained. So airspeed. Obtaining best single engine climb performance. To obtain the best single engine climb performance with one engine in operative, the airplane must be banked 3 to 5 degrees into the operative engine while maintaining a constant heading. So that's important to remember. A procedure for determining the operative engine. The following checks will help you determine which engine is inoperative. Dead foot, dead engine. The rudder pressure maintained to maintain directional control will be on the side of the operative engine. So basically, if you fly and the right engine stops, you will notice will start pushing on the left engine, which means the right engine will be the right foot will be sort of dead. You don't have to put any pressure on that one, and the dead foot means the dead engine. That's the same side. So if the right foot is the dead foot, or the foot without pressure, then the right side is the dead engine. Throttle. Partially retard the throttle for the engine that is believed to be inoperative. There should be no change in control pressure on the sound or the sound of the engine if the correct throttle has been selected. So, and don't do this at low altitudes. Or do it with extreme caution. And don't use the tachometer or manifold pressure or anything of that, because they will show they will be correct. So first procedure is engine failure during ground roll. Close throttles, braking as required to achieve stopping distance. If emergency shutdown is warranted, fuel selectors to off, magnetos to off, alternators to off, batteries to off. We'll return to that several times during this. Engine failure after liftoff and in flight. If immediate landing is advisable regardless of takeoff weight, continued flight cannot be assured if takeoff weight exceeds that's not. Then landing gear and flaps up, throttle closed on the inoperative engine, propeller feather on the inoperative engine, power on the operative engine as required, airspeed maintain speed at engine failure 110 knots max until obstacles are clear. So 101 knots max. Best angle climb. So the most important aspect of engine failure is necessary to maintain lateral and directional control. If airspeed is below VMC-A, 84 knots, reduce power on the operative engine as required to maintain control. Let's see. After positive control has been established, mixture control cut off, fuel selector. This is on inoperative engine. Mixture control cut off, fuel selector off, fuel boost pumps off, magnetos off, and alternators off. Monitor alternator load, non-essential equipment off as required. Alternator bus tire, we don't have it simulated. Alternator load monitor and non-essential electrical equipment on as required. Cowl flaps closed. Hold on, I'll be right back. Sorry about that, I had to fix something. Next section, engine fire on ground. Mixture control, so we'll look inside of engine fire. Oh my god, on engine fire. Mixture control cut off. Starter affected and continue to crank, so that's good to remember. Magnetos off, alternators off, batteries off. So how will it continue? No, yeah, okay. In flight, shut down an affected engine by following the according procedure and land immediately. For the first step, we call one engine operative procedure in this section. So first realize which engine it is. Fuel selector valve off, which is down here, not simulated. Mixture control cut off, propeller feather, fuel boost pumps are off, magnetos off, and alternator off. So that's good. Emergency descent checklist procedure. Throttles closed, propellers 2700 RPM, airspeed 150 knots, landing gear down. Flaps approach 15, so and that's, we'll get some flaps and gears out and we can descend pretty fast. And then we'll glide. If we have a glide, propellers to feather, lands, flaps to 0, landing gear up. Note, the landing gear will not retract unless one of the throttles is in the position corresponding to approximately 15 inches of manifold pressure or above. Airspeed 115 knots. Glide ratio 2 nautical miles for each 1,000 feet of altitude, so it's good to ring. 2 nautical miles. Gear up landing. Cowl flaps closed, wing flaps as desired, throttles closed, fuel selectors off, mixture controls cut off, magnetos off, alternates off, batteries off. Wings keep level during touchdown, keep clear of airplane as soon as possible after it stops. One engine in operative operation on crossfeed. So left engine in operative, right fuel boost pumps on, left fuel selector off, right fuel selector crossfeed, and right fuel boost pump off when you're pretty much done. Right back. Sorry, it's busy here. Okay, next section, electrical smoke fire. Alternators off, batteries off, heading control maintain using standby compass. Good to know. All electrical switches off. Cabin air and cabin heat controls full forward. Pilot air and co-pilot air full open. Pull open overhead, fresh outlets open. If smoke or fire ceases, immediately restore electrical equipment and isolate defective equipment. Batteries on, alternates on, essential electrical equipment on one at a time. Pilot stone window open, land as soon as practical. Alternator failure, left or alt in up or right alt in up. Alternator failed side off momentarily, then on. If warning alert is extinguished, positive load is indicated. Continue to use the alternator. If warning alert remains displayed, alternator fail side off. Non-essential electrical equipment off or as required to reduce the load on operative alternator. Alternator fail side bus tie ties the side of the functional. We don't have a bus tie here, simulator, so alternator load monitor. Non-essential electrical equipment on as required. Repeat if the warning alert for the other alternator displays, repeat steps 1 through 5 on for the other alternator. So, and electrical load shedding. So, battery emergency operation time is 30 minutes minimum per battery, and it's based on the following load being shed. So, left and right alternators off, avionics master off, prop sync off, fuel vent heat off, stall warning heat off, propeller de-ice off, windshield and de-ice off, air conditioning blower if installed off, heater blower off, strobe lights off, beacon off, nav lights off, floodlights as required, panel lights off, utility plug if used, you don't have that, unplug, and cabin lights off. Avionics failure, climb, cruise, descent, maneuver, that's important. Skip this, this is just then it's a section about autopilot, which is a good section, except it's for the G1000, so it's hard to use that for this version. Fuel flow high. Fuel flow confirm above 27.4 gallons per hour. Boost pump verify off. Mixture lean as required. Cylinder head temperature high. CHT confirm over 238 degrees centigrade. Cowl flags open. Mixture enrich as required. Airspeed increase as required and power reduce as required. If CHT drops below 238 degrees centigrade, announce it to extinguish. Continue flight to destination at pilot's discretion while continue monitoring CHT. If CHT remains above 238, announce it remains displayed. Perform engine failure after liftoff and in-flight procedures to secure affected engine. Land as near suitable airport using minimum power required. Oil temperature high. Oil temperature confirmed above 116 centigrade. Cowl flaps open. Power reduced slow as practical and oil pressure check. If stabilized below, continue flight to destination at pilot's discretion. If not, perform engine failure after liftoff and in-flight procedures to secure effective engine. Oil pressure high. Oil pressure confirmed above 100 psi. Power reduced as required. If it stays on, Oh, that's just monitored. Oil pressure low, confirm below 10 psi, perform engine failure after liftoff and in-flight procedures to secure affected engine. Land at the nearest suitable airport using minimum power required. Fuel quantity low. Fuel indicators confirm low quantity and tank. Land at nearest suitable airport. Let's just stop about spins and emergency exit, severe icing condition. We won't talk about that. You can read that yourself if you want to. So that's one. And then we had an abnormal section with, actually, I missed that. There's emergency section procedures and abnormal procedures, and I'm gonna do it all together today. On last play I did this on. I separated those two in 2 episodes, but I'm gonna do it together today because they sort of intermix between. So the things we're gonna look at are landing emergencies, forward cabin door open light, might do some avionics. So first important thing is if it stops in air, you can start it. So it's an air start. What you do that is an alternator on the operative engine off, fuel selector valve on, throttle set approximately 1/4 of the travel, mixture control full reach below 5,000, 1/2 above 5,000, a half above 1,000. Fuel boost pumps low, magnetos on. Propeller with unfeathered accumulators. Propeller control forward of feathering detent until engine obtains 600 RPM. Propeller control back to detent to avoid overspeeding. Starter engages momentarily to accomplish unfeathering. If the propeller doesn't unfeather or engine does not turn, proceed with unfeathering accumulated procedure, which is propeller control forward of feathering detent. Starter engage. If that doesn't work, then you go. No, that should work. Then you don't have an engine. If it turns on, starts, you adjust the throttles and propeller mixture controls. Fuel pumps off, alternator on, oil pressure check, warm up the engine, and then power trim as required. Here's a good, interesting thing: landing emergency. 1 engine in operative landing. On final approach, and when it's certain that the field can be reached, landing gear down, flaps approach 15, airspeed 17 knots, power as required. So when there is there is no possibility of ground, flaps 30, airspeed 95 knots. Execute normal landing. 1 engine in operative go run. Power maximum allowable, landing gear up, flaps 0, maintain 101 knots in minimum. So, and that's number of different procedures. Everything autopilot. This is a good one. Forward cabin door and open in flight. Maintain control of the airplane. Do not attempt to close the door until after landing. All occupants remain seated with seatbelts fastened and land as soon as practical using normal procedures. So, land, basically. And the other is sort of hard to do because it's on a G1000. We don't have a G1000, so we're gonna go look at take off, do a flight, and then we're gonna shut off the 1 engine, and hopefully you will see that a little bit. Okay, so that's we'll go and take off basically first. So let's see, where are we? We need to go. Should probably have wind socket somewhere. I can see one. We'll take off here. I have a problem because it seems like the avionics keeps dying on this plane. I don't know why. That's really weird because it shouldn't. Speeding here, sorry. we'll pretend I've done the run up. And we're gonna clear on that side. We're gonna use don't use any flaps, so we'll just take off and get into here so we can do some bit of flying here. So full throttle, props, and mixture forward. Engine is in the green. 85 knots. Rotate. Positive right. Gear up. Under 5 is climb speed. So. That's good. So we'll try and we'll get the autopilot at 1,000 feet, and then we're gonna simulate the engine dying on us. Feet. No damper. Pilot heading altitude. Okay, so reduce power to 2200 maybe, somewhere there. Like so. Okay, so we have an engine problem. Right, engine died. So suddenly when it's like, oh, okay, we're swerving to the right. Let's put in some. Where should we put in some left rudder? Okay, so good. So identified. So left rudder, which the right foot is sort of hanging loose. So it's the right engine. Okay, so what did you done? We've identified the engine. It's still flipping, turning, just power. We'll feather the engine. So it's feathered. Holding it off. Okay, so we could do a restart. If we go to the procedures. Find the procedures in the book. It's not very easy to find in a PDF document. Emergency procedure. We'll just flip the pages until we get there. Gear up? Yeah, I know. Monitor speed. So we'll go air start. We could start here. Alternator operator off. Fuel selector on. Throttle set approximately 1/4 travel. Mixture control full rich. Fuel bounce pumps on low. We don't have that. What is on? Fuel magnetos on. Check. Propellers on feather. So we'll see. It will start. No, it didn't. So starter engage momentarily. So it's probably an airspeed issue. We'll reduce the speed slightly. See if we can. It will restart. Try restart it now. No. No restart. We'll try restart. Didn't work. No point in spending an eternity trying to fix that. Feather it. Pull that off. We'll shed some load just to keep everything going. Okay, so we'll turn back towards the airport. I'm gonna take it off the autopilot. So, one engine landing. Landing down, flaps at 15, airspeed 17 knots. 107, power is required when certain when it's landing. Down 30, airspeed 95 and execute normal landing. So let's see where we are in relations to the airport. So we'll go up here. Go forward now. I have the throttle won't stay closed because I have adjusted one throttle lever on the joystick. That's why. Pretty much good. Slight left rudder. Could trim it. Wanted to. Oh, sorry. I'll just keep it. I'll keep the rudder pedal first. So weird when I should have some indication somewhere that would be easier. So kinda cool. Flying one engine. So maintain airspeed. I actually dropped my vigilance there and lost a bit of airspeed. But we're gonna go up here, we're gonna go land, and then we're gonna go... Ska fika när jag landar. Jag är på väg att landa.
Får jag vatten då?
Det finns på köksbordet. How's my daughter? She wants something to eat. She wants candy actually. Fyll på där, det finns en kanna. Let's see, we're a bit off here. So let's see. Sorry. So we're getting there. So remember 107, and we could bring the flaps down now, but we should be. We'll have it here outside. Here's the airport. 107, and then 95 when the flaps are down. So I'm pretty sure we can reach the airport. We'll go gear down. 3 greens. Flap approach. Actually, I'm way too early with this. I should do it later on. Okay, full forward. And 107, so reduce power slightly. Then as we get close to land, when we reduce power, we'll sort of stop yawing so much, so that's good. 107, slightly high, 110 now. So around there maybe. It's good speed wise. It's pretty good to keep, easy to keep the speed in this one. The model. Oh, I say just as I reduce the speed. So we're coming in here to land, so pretty cool. I really liked it. This is a good scenery, and it's very nice with the frame rate. It's not too bad on the frame rate at all. So that's pretty good. We'll go flaps down. Getting off the center here. 95. Nice train yard there to the left. I did a review the other day on an airport. Slightly low on speed. Oh, come on. So as we bring it out, we'll not the best landings I've done, but pretty well. I got us down right. So flaps up. We'll go park. Not sure. I couldn't read anything about the max. I know with the DA42 you had to be in a certain speed range to restart the engine. Not sure if that was the same thing here, but I couldn't get it restarted. Maybe I was maybe I should brought it down to 88 knots. Sorry, that could have been it. Because 88 was the. Oh, that might have been that. My bad. Sorry to say. I should have done that. Oh, I got us down. Wait, I guess it's okay. This is a really cool scenery. Amazing. I mean, the car's driving around. Not too much stuff, but you should see the areas over there, the hangars. They're really cool. Let's get in here. Open the window, and park over here. So good. Park and brake. 12,000. So that's off. And turn everything off here. Oh, that's it. Thank you for watching this short, well, it's kind of short, emergency and abnormal procedures section on the Beech Baron. So I'm Andy. If you like this channel, please subscribe. If you like this episode, please hit the like button, leave a comment or share. Have a great day, and I see you soon. Take care. Bye bye.